There we go.
We are streaming. We're live, baby.
We are live. I'm going to hit the intro. Here we go.
Trekcast. The galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again. We're over on Discord, but we are live over to YouTube. So as always, some of our new fancy, funky setups are giving us headaches again. I'm Chad. That's Dan. That's Daniel. That's the three of us holding true to our word. We are the most unpredictable Star Trek podcast, and we're so unpredictable we don't even know where and how we're going to stream every single Sunday morning. Keeping it real, just for you.
So unpredictable. I mean, I'm here. Who could have predicted that?
Who could have predicted?
Right?
Indeed.
Yes, I've changed my lighting setup yet again. Who could have predicted? So it's every week, I swear. So you got a little bit of elation and disappointment this morning, Dan. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So I was looking for these glasses in the center console of my wife's van, and I found this coupon for a free taco. I mean, who doesn't love tacos?
Yeah.
So that was cool, and I was really excited about that until I realized that it expired like a year and a half ago. So we're gonna put that right back where it was, and I don't know. I'll find it again a year from now.
There's this.
Excited and then
We'll
disappointed.
do it all over.
Do it all over. Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna place this in random places for other people to find, just to watch them go. Oh, free taco! Oh, never mind.
You could do one of those. Go ahead.
I was going to say, when we do the Christmas cards this year, randomly stick it in one of them.
See who gets it.
Who gets a free taco?
Nice.
That's hilarious. Nice. Oh, we have to do that now. We have to do that now. Yeah. That is hilarious.
But you know what? Because it's Trekcast, we won't. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk
about it. And then we just won't do it.
But that's how we
talk about it. People will get excited, and then we don't do it.
Yeah. But nobody will know because there was only one, right? They won't know. Yeah, you know, nobody will know.
Gentry will open his card and be like, "Oh, maybe Scott got
it." Yeah, exactly.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
We'll forget about it by next week. That's correct, Chaz.
Chaz is right. Chaz is right. We'll forget about it next week.
He's absolutely correct.
Yep.
It's not like there's an audio record of us saying that we're going to do things. Case in point, last week when Gentry was on, he made a note to write down the things that we said we were going to do and email it to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he didn't do that.
Yes.
And then he didn't do that because, he became part of the show. So
that's correct. I mean, it's just a contagion thing, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we all have ADHD. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's that. I think I know exactly what it is, though. It's the nature of how we put together the show, which is we show up and we talk. And so,
it's like The View, but for middle-aged men.
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying it for 5 years. I literally phone it in every week.
Yeah.
5 years. 5 years.
Oh.
Well, 2018 to 2022, 4 years. 4 years.
4 years. 4 years. 5 years.
About to be 5. About to be 5.
Yeah.
That's crazy, though. That's just crazy.
It is.
Well, we should, before we get into the news, we should get into our sponsor.
Yes, of course.
And, yes, that's Toink, where fandom lives. That is our sponsor this week. So I have something to show you. The giant box.
Yes.
Is that adult Happy Meal I've been hearing about?
It's the adult Happy Meal.
Adult Happy Meal, yes. I put on Facebook that we were going to be opening it, and I had people guess what was in it. Dan said that it was Tuvik's torture tools. Duval said a foldable phaser rifle. Gentry said my dignity. And Scott Batters said it was Burnham's charisma.
I think it's I think it's a baker's dozen of self-sealing stem bolts. That's my guess.
If they don't have self-sealing stem bolts somewhere, I mean, you're just missing out. It's the perfect white elephant gift in your office at Christmas. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just perfect.
So people look at it and be like, "What is that?"
What is it? I don't know. What is it?
So-
You tell me.
Yeah, you tell
And
me.
you're like, oh,
what
oh,
is
you
its
don't like,
function?
you don't like it? Here, have a free taco instead.
Yes. How do I open this thing?
Oh, somebody did make Wesley's sweater, Chaz. That was a thing. I remember that being something you
Yeah.
could buy at one point was Wesley's sweater. I do recall
Oh,
that.
this is like a little Christmas. There's all sorts of stuff in here. Okay.
Yeah.
So number one, little lunchbox with a horror on it.
Nice.
Says hailing frequencies open. So that'll be
Cool.
cool. You know, that's great for keeping little thumb drives.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean isolinear chips?
Isolinear chips. I
Yes,
do call.
isolinear chip.
I actually call my USB sticks Isolinear 1, Isolinear 2.
That's funny.
Some sort
Yeah.
of
Hey,
pin.
Where's the nerd
that
alert
is
button?
that's TOS movie era rank insignia. That's what that is.
It's a captain's rank.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh
Do
wow.
you need that for your cosplay, Dan?
I don't have a Monster Maroon. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Well, now you may need one.
Someday.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is a blind bag pin.
Okay.
So we'll open it in a minute. Let's see what else is in here first.
Got a lot of stuff in there.
Oh, this is cool. A Star Trek school notebook that looks like the old school, like those old folders. So
Is it a coloring
Yep.
book or just a notebook?
the notebook, you can write in it.
Okay, cool.
There's so much stuff in here.
That's where we
There's
should
a
put the
mug.
notes for the show right there in that
Yeah.
notebook, Daniel.
No,
Yes.
that's where he's gonna write his slash fan fiction.
Yes. My love of Tuvix.
His
Oh.
Picard Riker fanfic.
Oh Lord.
You know it.
What do you got?
So this
Ooh.
is Kirk with the Tribble.
Yep.
Yep.
Very
And a mug.
nice.
Tribble with Tribbles.
Nice.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff in this. This is like the collector's box that they have on Twink. Here's an Enterprise. Like,
Oh yeah, nice. Little model.
yeah. It's
On
one
a
of those
stand?
baubles that hangs. Yeah. It goes right next to the hula girl in my car. Here is a disco pizza cutter.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
That's actually more
man, they loaded
apt
me up.
for a pizza cutter than any other starship
Yeah.
because the thing actually
mean-
freaking spins.
And here's the thing. Maybe you don't like Discovery. Maybe you're like me. You don't like Discovery. But you still like pizza.
Right.
That's right. Who doesn't?
What better to take your
I
frustrations
also
out
got
on
another
Michael
little
Burnham
lunchbox.
than to use it to cut pizza with?
Yeah.
What's that one,
I
Daniel?
got a little Enterprise lunchbox to go
Oh,
with
nice.
the Aurora.
That one you could
Yes.
use for
Yeah.
mints.
Yeah,
You
they
put your
just loaded
Altoids
me
in
up.
there. Yeah.
A Borg puzzle cube.
Nice.
Oh, cool. That's fun.
Yeah, yeah. And then the last thing is a Spock knitted little Spock. So
Yep.
there you can kind of see him.
That's cool.
Yeah. So all that is from Toink.
Nice.
They have like these boxes, blind boxes that you can buy, and that's what they gave me in mine. So there you go.
Very cool. They got a lot of
let's
cool
see, right
stuff.
now
over
they've
there.
they got so much cool stuff. Buy 3, get 1 free drinkware, kitchenware, and puzzles and pins. Also a free pin with the purchase of $50 or more, and free shipping in the continuous US. So let's open the blind bag, see what pin I got. Kind of hoping for something Klingon.
Yeah. Not the
Oh,
pacifist
no, not
Klingon.
Yeah, it's pacifist Klingon. It's another Enterprise pin.
Oh, that's
Nice.
cool. I like that one.
You never have too many of those.
No.
No. It's very cool though. So yeah, that's Toynk, TOYNK.com, TOYNK.com. Check them out, guys. It's not just Star Trek stuff. They've got all sorts of different things. It's like they say,
Yep.
where fandom lives.
Yep.
They got Marvel, DC, all kinds of stuff. It's great.
A little bit
Oh, yeah.
everything.
A little bit of
Alright,
everything.
Cool.
Speaking of DC, did you guys see the new Black Adam movie?
I did. I
Did
took
you?
I took my son to see it last night. Yeah.
Oh, how was that with a kid?
Good. Yeah, it was
Is
all
it a
right.
little
I mean,
intense?
he's 10 now, so he could see
Yeah.
Okay.
he could see more than in the past.
Okay.
What did you think? And then I'll tell you what I thought.
So I went to a party last night with some friends, a bunch of nerdy people, and I told them, I'll tell them what I told you guys, or what I'm going to say here. It's amazing how a movie can be great and terrible at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, yeah.
What made it terrible, and what made it great? Spoiler free. Spoiler free.
Yeah. It's very cookie cutter, right?
Yeah.
You can see what's going to happen from a mile away.
Yeah. But
what's great about it is I think some of the performances, not all of the performances, but some of them are great.
Yeah.
And I think some of the action was fun. The CGI I thought was overall pretty good.
Yeah.
Some wonky spots, but
yep.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. And I'm kind of torn because the only reason this movie was made is because Dwayne Johnson pushed for it over and over and over again and used his pull and his star power to make it happen. That being said, forgetting all the behind the scenes stuff and just looking at the movie, I liked the movie very much. I enjoyed the movie very much, not because of Dwayne Johnson, but despite Dwayne Johnson.
Right.
And I feel bad. I feel bad in a way because, in my heart of hearts, I want to give him credit for getting this movie made, but his performance was probably the least likable thing about the end product.
Is it because of the character he's playing, or is it because of his acting ability? I've always thought his acting ability was a little bit iffy sometimes, but okay for the kinds of movies he was making.
Here's the thing, though. It's Dwayne Johnson as The Rock as Black Adam.
Right.
So
he's not really acting.
He's not really acting.
Saying lines.
Yes. So
I've never really thought of him that way in other movies. So obviously there's something going on there with the way that this was directed. Then I mean, he's a capable actor. Or do you disagree with that?
I don't think he is. All right, I watch his TV show, Young Rock.
I don't watch that.
But he's playing The Rock, so he's playing himself.
Yeah.
He's playing himself. Other than that, I mean, I don't think I've seen a lot of his movies.
The Jumanji movie was funny. I thought that was good. That was well done. I haven't seen Rampage because it looks stupid.
He's a lot like Schwarzenegger. Like Schwarzenegger, you wouldn't have to Hamlet, but he's really good at certain things that he's good at.
Here's the thing with Schwarzenegger. Everyone kind of knew he's not the greatest actor and accepted that. And accepted that and just kind of went in there to enjoy the movie. Yeah. And I guess I kind of have to learn to do that with Dwayne Johnson, but it's harder when he's playing. If Black Adam was a character that they just made up for this movie, I don't think it would have been as bad or as noticeable. But the fact that I've read comic books for years, and not that I was the biggest Black Adam fan in the world, but I know this character, and he doesn't look like Dwayne Johnson.
Right. He has hair.
He's supposed to have hair. He's supposed to have pointed ears. He's supposed to have, strong angled eyebrows. He basically looks like an angry, buff Mr. Spock or Namor. Or Namor would be, more of, So
and now Namor looks like me.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So who knows?
And what do they say in the trailer? They call him Namor. Like they try to give it a Spanish, a little bit of Spanish flair.
Well, isn't that what they did? Did they make it like they made him like an Aztec?
Mesoamerican.
Yeah. Which fine.
Whatever.
Yeah,
they're making it different from Aqua Bro.
Yeah. But I did like Black Adam. I did like the other characters. Dr. Fate was pretty cool. I would love to see more of him. Even Hawkman, where you look at Hawkman and I can't look at Hawkman without thinking of the 1970s and 80s Super Friends cartoons and what a useless character he was. But he was good. The guy that they got to play Atom Smasher, he was supposed to play He-Man in the the movie that was abandoned. And so I found myself looking at him going, you know what? He wouldn't have been bad if they finished that. But they had a couple of threads in there that, no spoilers. They had a couple threads in there to tie it back to some other DC movies and other DC TV shows to remind everyone that this is part of the bigger universe that they're trying to create 15 years in, but they're still trying to create it. But it was good. Wasn't great, but it was good.
Yeah, it was all right. That's how I feel. Yeah, it's fun. Go enjoy it, but don't expect mind blowing anything.
It's not Hamlet. He's not Tom Hanks. He'll never be Tom Hanks.
Nope.
Well, we talked about that last week, that some actors are great because they're just able to just go and be themselves on every single role they ever play, and they're fantastic at it, and that's why we love them, is because they just go and be themselves. And then other times you've got actors who can literally be anything, like a Tom Hardy. Actors who can just pull off any role, like a Christian Bale. They can pull off just about anything. But some actors just can't. Vince Vaughn is Vince Vaughn in everything.
Yeah,
it's Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
So, But okay, cool. We ready for the news?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Whatever news we've got, here we go.
Star Trek news.
Thank you, Robert.
All right. Our first news story comes to us from Screen Rant, and we're getting a major return to the Star Trek universe. This is in the comic books, of course.
Of course.
The Sisko is returning.
In the comics.
I saw that
Benjamin
article.
Lafayette Sisko. Yeah.
I saw that article and I went, oh, it's the comics.
Yeah.
They're going to stop doing that.
They're bringing him back in the IDW Star Trek series, the forthcoming series. He is returning as the Sisko, of course. He's going to be a god sent by the prophets to bring down a god killer. So he's taking on Christian Bale.
I was just going to say Christian Bale is making his Star Trek debut as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So apparently Sisko is going to have a ragtag group of Star Trek characters from other franchises. So that'll be interesting.
Oh, geez.
We do know that on his team will be Dr. Beverly Crusher as the ship's doctor, and his helmsman will be Tom Paris. So,
okay, Nick Locarno or Tom Paris?
Tom Paris.
All right. Well,
Tom Paris.
I guess if Nick's not available, he's the next best thing. So,
also an interesting thing. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say the good thing is, they kind of have a history of filling in these canon gaps with IDW comics, and then 5 years later, making a show that completely contradicts it. So, here's my prediction. Here's another Dan Lombardo prediction. 2026, we're going to get Captain Sisko showing up in an actual legit canon Star Trek production.
Oh, so, for sure.
I said it here.
The other thing about this comic book run, and this is how you can tell it's a slow news day. So I'm just adding stuff from the comic book.
If it's slow, I could talk about Taco again. That'll speed things up.
I got a puffy taco recipe we could talk about too. Sorry, Dean.
Yeah. So featured a lot in the marketing is Ensign Ro Laren, but she's not shown with the crew. So is she the God Killer?
I don't know.
Man, I just couldn't care less.
I know.
I mean,
me either.
Slow
news week.
The comic books. I mean, in all honesty, was I ever really a comic book reader? There was a brief moment in time where I was, and then there was a brief moment in time, maybe 6, 7 years ago, where I wanted to get it. Maybe it was around the time when the Star Wars movies were coming back, the trilogies were coming back, and I wanted to get into the Thrawn trilogy, and I got one of the first books. It's a big, giant, thick Star Wars comic type book thing for it because I really kind of want to read up. I was all excited about the new trilogy, and that was the last time I'd ever been even for 1 second thought about comic books, and that came and went pretty fast. So
Oh wow,
I'm just not a comic book guy.
Yeah.
that's okay.
No, it's
That's
okay. To each their own. I mean, nothing. I like going and
Yeah.
perusing and flipping through and seeing the ideas and looking at the artwork and then putting it back on the shelf and then continue to walk down the store. You know, that's what I do. So
I like comic book movies.
You know what you need? You know what you need?
what's that?
A library. A library.
We do have a
'Cause
library.
That's what you just described. The library.
Yep. I go to the
I
library.
read it. I put it back.
There was a comic book store right down the street. It was called Pulp Fiction. I used to go in there every once in a while, but it was pretty run down and horrible. I mean, it was just it was bad. And they did Magic the Gathering card games in groups of like 50 every Wednesday and Sunday night, and so it smelled like it too. So
those are my people, Chad. I played Magic.
Nothing against anybody who does that, but I mean, there was like 1,000,001 cards stacked just out in the open, just stacked to the ceiling for them to shuffle through and do. It was just there had to be over 1,000,000 cards on a wall, and it was just incredible. So it was fun to walk through there and see that. But Pulp Fiction, sadly, is no longer there. It's closed. It is now Cherry Bomb Tattoo. So no comic book store in town other than the Vintage Stock chain, which I don't know. Sometimes gets a little old going in there over and over again to see the same stuff.
All right.
Anyway,
our second news story comes to us from trekmovie.com, and the headline is Star Trek Strange New Worlds honored with the seal of authentic representation for Bruce Hordick's Hemmer. So the Rudder Family Foundation recently gave their Rudderman seal of approval for Hemmer's portrayal of a blind character. So,
okay.
Yeah. Noticing Daredevil didn't get that, so
imagine that. An actor who's not blind can play a character who's blind. Imagine that.
No, he is blind.
He's blind.
Oh, that's true. Sorry.
Sorry, didn't fit your agenda, Chad.
Damn.
Yes.
But
sorry.
But he is also a mermaid, so it's okay.
Right. He is a mermaid. Yes. And since it's a slow news day, our last news story comes to us from Yahoo Entertainment. And good news, rejoice everyone. Studio Canal renews Nickelodeon's global deal for The Adventures of Paddington Season 3.
Oh, God.
So more Paddington, guys. Yeah, that's it. That's our news story.
Warning, nerd alert.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? No, I should mention this. I do need to make a correction. Last week I said that the Star Trek Prodigy game was going to be delayed. I was mistaken. It's the Resurgence game, the one with Evil Will Wheaton. That's the one that's being delayed. Prodigy is out and loving it, and you can go get it right now. Resurgence will be delayed till sometime in 2023.
Yep. Yeah. There's another game that is out. It's out on mobile. I don't know if it's on Android, but it is on iPhone in the App Store, and it's a Lower Decks game. It's an idle clicker. It's Star Trek Lower Decks. That's it. And it has all the lower deckers on it. It doesn't have any voiceovers or anything else, but it has some pretty damn funny text that comes across the screen that you read. Badgie shows up to torment everybody. It's pretty funny. So it's a fun little idle clicker, and it does work in airplane mode. So if you're traveling like I am, you can actually play it on the plane.
Yeah, it's called Star Trek Lower Decks Mobile.
Okay, there you go. So it has the word mobile at the end of it. Gotcha. So it's fun. I've played it for about 10 minutes this week. So
nice.
It's just an idle, mind-numbing add up coin types of things. I think it's badges that you add up or something inside of the holodeck. You get stuck in the holodeck with the 4 characters, and It's nothing too deep, but it is funny. The commentary they throw up on the screen sometimes is definitely on par with the characters you'd expect. So it's that part's good.
I have a friend who's in town this week. He lives in Houston, but he's here visiting right now. And he wanted to go to the coin show yesterday. And I was trying to convince him to me dress as Mario and him dress as Luigi, and we go to the coin show.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Is he an Italian American?
He's a little bit of everything, but yeah, there's some Italian in there.
Yeah, because you know, you're not an Italian American, so
No.
I don't know if it would be appropriate
Cultural
for you
appropriation.
to engage in that sort of cultural.
Well, neither's Chris
appropriation.
Pratt, but he's apparently the new Super Mario. Have you guys seen that going around on YouTube?
That's true.
Yes, I saw
Yeah.
the preview for it before Black Adam yesterday.
Yeah.
The game footage that someone made of him in a full 3D immersive realistic looking game.
Oh, the Unreal Engine one?
Yeah, is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So
yeah.
I like that.
They give him a little bit of a Brooklyn accent. It's pretty
Yeah.
funny. So. Well, let's get to our main topic.
All right, main topic time.
Cool.
It's the main topic.
Thank you, Dr. Lazarus.
Just like that. Here we
Yes.
are. And of course, we're talking about this week's episode of Lower Decks. I have no idea what it was called. Major something.
I've got it. I've got the little log line and everything.
Okay, go for it.
It's 309 trusted sources,
Trusted sources.
and the log line is, as always, so encompassing and great. A visiting reporter on the Cerritos puts Captain Freeman on edge.
Yep. That's about as short of a sentence as you can make about that episode. So, not wrong.
It's not wrong.
Yeah.
But...
Pretty funny though. So yeah, we have this reporter coming in from FNN. She acts like a complete noob and has no idea what's going on and has never seen a California class, which is a typical reporter move, and everybody falls for it. The Captain Freeman does her typical thing, becomes the worst captain in Starfleet, and orders only certain people to be able to talk to her, who she thinks is going to paint the ship in a good light. Little does she know that ends up backfiring on her. She restricts all the lower deckers to different rotation shifts and forbids them from talking to the reporter, but Mariner disobeys orders and goes and talks to the reporter anyway. Meanwhile, you've got this wonderful little side mission to go back to make follow-up, the swing-by missions, right? This is hilarious because it's such a dig at what happened in TNG, where you'd go to the planet of the week, they do something, they change something, they do something, they leave and never freaking come back.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what? They have 30 years of those storylines that they can revisit, and it's great.
Yeah,
it's great because it was a neat little. It's not the greatest episode of TNG, but it was a neat little story.
It was a morality play, right? It was a morality play.
For those who don't remember what it is, you had these two planets in the same system, and one planet, everyone on the planet was hooked on a drug, and the other planet supplied the drug, and basically, leached off of these people. And the doctor determined that they're not sick, they're just addicted, and there's an issue getting the drug from one planet to the other, and Picard's solution is, we're not going to help you. We're not going to help you. You're going to go through withdrawal. It's going to suck, but at the end, you're not going to be hooked on this drug, and that'll be that. And roll credits. Let's go.
Some of you may die.
That's it.
Yep, off we go. So
what was interesting. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Keep going.
I was just going to say, what's interesting. I don't know if you guys remember who played the characters on that show, but cue up your nerd alert. There were two characters representing the addicted planet and two characters representing the drug pushers. And one of the addicted characters was played by the same actor who played David Marcus, Kirk's son in Star Trek 2 and 3.
Oh yeah.
And
wow,
on the
that's
other
a
side,
deep cut.
Oh, well, it goes deeper. On the other side, one of the drug pushers was played by the actor who played Khan's second in command in The Wrath of
Oh,
Khan,
I
the guy
remember that.
with
Yep.
the blonde hair.
Yep. The poofy
Yeah.
metal band, hairband hair.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
yeah.
Warning, warning, nerd alert, nerd alert.
Much deserved. Much deserved.
Yeah.
Those are deep cuts, though, right? I mean, I
Yeah,
do recall that.
yeah.
Now that you
Yeah.
say it, it's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And
They recycled.
yeah, and they flipped that completely on Chippendale dancers. They completely flipped that on its head in this episode. Oh, we lost Dan for a second. I'm sure.
Yeah, I just have to check something. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
You're fine.
Okay.
So no, but in this episode, they completely flipped that on its head. So now we've got the planet where everybody was addicted to drugs, talking about, oh, you know, it was hell for a while, but then now we're good. We're all fine. We're better. We don't need you. You guys can leave. We don't want you here.
It was like, what, 15 years of withdrawals, I think they said?
Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
long time.
Yeah, a long time. But now they're health
Yeah.
nuts. And everything's great. Go away. We don't need you.
I have friends who help in the addict community, and they have told me there are 3 different things that addicts turn to as soon as they get out of it, and it's either sex, food, or fitness.
Yeah.
That's where they all turn it to, one or the other. So, yeah,
I could make a bad comment about that right now, but I won't. I'll be nice.
I know you could. I know you could. Yeah, good boy, not doing that. Good boy, not doing that. Very good. So,
anyway, okay. What was the name of the planet where they were addicted to drugs? The name of the 2 planets here. I remember seeing them on the screen, but I can't recall. What was Braxid or Brachial or Braille? I don't know. One start with an O, one start with a B.
Miami.
Miami-Dade.
I know the drug was fleecium.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which is funny because, you know, they were fleecing them.
Yeah,
With fleecium.
that's where that comes from. Yeah.
It's like in Avatar where they're going after the unobtainium.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it's unobtainable. It's really hard to get.
Yeah, exactly.
What movie was it where it was the MacGuffin device is what they were after?
Oh, yeah.
We have to get the MacGuffin device.
Yeah.
Everything depends on it.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, man.
I love when it's so on the nose like that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, every JJ movie says Chad.
So Mariner.
That are mysteries of the mind.
Yeah.
So they go to the first planet. Everything's fine.
Yep.
So
they say the swing by mission's a dud. Whatever.
Yep. So they decide to go to the other planet for the drug pushers and see if they need any help. And they get there, and that place is a total shit show. And apparently, it's occupied by the Breen. The Breen are running around with their helmets and blah, 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 the way they talk, just vaporizing people.
What was that translation?
Blah, 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 blah.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, that was the northern dialect. If it didn't sound right.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the South, the Breen aren't green; they're blue.
Yeah. So the away team gets caught in the Breen attack. They beam back to the ship. There's multiple Breen ships in the area. They're about to get destroyed. The Breen are boarding them, and here comes a Starfleet ship that rescues them. They hail the ship, and they get Admiral. Is his name Buenamigo?
Yeah, Buen Amigo.
And I think the literal translation of that is good friend.
Yeah.
Right?
It is. Good job.
Which I think is also funny because, you know, most admirals in Star Trek, if you go and you look and you put the pie chart together, it's like 90% of the admirals that we've met are evil.
Yeah.
So, you know, to have an admiral where his name is literally good friend, you know, he's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
But he's doing the exact opposite of that. He used Freeman completely in this episode and put the reporter there completely. Didn't care shit at all about what happened with Freeman or the California class or all of that. He wanted that reporter there to see and talk about his new automated ship.
The Texas
know.
class.
I don't know if that was a setup.
Oh, that
I
was a
mean,
total setup.
You think so?
Oh, it was a total setup. He was waiting for
All right.
that. That was a total setup. He knew the Breen
So
were there. Oh yeah.
I think he's from Texas. There's a large Hispanic population, a large Mexican population in Texas,
Hey.
and if you look behind him on the shelf behind him in his office, there's like a model of the Alamo. Right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think the Texas class is like his big project.
Right. Right, exactly. And that's why he set all that
Yeah.
up and wanted the reporter there to be there at the time when they got attacked by the Breen, and that ship would already be staged and ready to go to save him.
Yeah.
And there'd be no problem. They'd overpower him because it's a new thing, and he wanted to announce it and have it on the news and yada
Yeah.
yada yada. I think there was a total setup.
Okay.
It just seemed obvious to me, but I mean, maybe not. But I think
What?
that's
So let me ask you guys this: what would the Missouri class and what would the New York class ships be like? What features would they have?
well, a Missouri class would be a gunboat, just like the
Oh,
battleships
would it?
of lore. Yes, it would be
Yeah.
a it would not be a science vessel. It would be a pure. It's gonna wallop you from over the horizon, heavy, heavy, heavy kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
dreadnought. I mean, if you want to look at it from the standpoint of a starship, it'd be a big behemoth. It would be the USS Vengeance, basically.
Okay.
So the New York class would be filthy. It would be filthy. There would be homeless people everywhere,
Oh God.
just like sleeping in the hallways.
Okay.
So it'd be the
And it would
Enterprise
be-
from TNG
and
then,
it would
with all the
be-
families in
and
the
it would be
saucer
one of
section.
those- But it would be one of those ships that everybody in Starfleet, they want to visit it and check it out, but nobody wants to serve there.
Okay. Okay.
So it would be Starbase
Uh,
80
Right.
from
Well,
this
no,
episode.
nobody wants to go. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to go to Starbase 80. I'm saying New York. People talk about New York,
Yeah, yeah.
specifically New York
The-
City. They say it's a cool place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. So
The
that
Idaho
would be-
class. The Idaho class would have a cloaking device.
Yeah.
Would not want to explore anything, and just be left alone.
I thought the Idaho class would be made up of people who used to serve on the California class.
Not as much as you would think, but they would all complain about it.
And they'd have
Yeah.
a very large hydroponic bays for growing potatoes.
Yeah, like the Florida
Yes.
class. The Florida class is everybody who used to serve in the New York class. And they said,
Right.
I'm out of here.
And it has extra
Yeah.
large holodecks.
Right. Yes.
So obviously with all the stuff going on with the reporter and people getting into their interviews, and it all looks like it's going so well and swimmingly, and the reporter acts like that too. But then when the report comes out, they find out that oops, Freeman once again is the worst captain that there is in Starfleet, and has sent her daughter to Starbase 80, thinking that she spilled the beans on all this horrible stuff, when in fact it was the entire freaking crew. And
Yeah.
she was the only one to say, Mariner was the only one to say something nice about it. And that's the one who got kicked off. So, of course, the reporter really highlighted this as well, but too late when she's trying to get a hold of Mariner. Mariner has quit Starfleet. Mariner is now
Yeah.
with the archaeologist looking for relics.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
Good
Starbase-
job.
Starbase 80. I would love to learn a little bit more about Starbase 80. Like, what do they actually do there? What is that place all about? I mean, the shuttle that they sent was like a first season TNG shuttle. It was filthy. It was filthy. It was a New York class shuttle.
yeah, it was
Right.
It was filthy. They were wearing like the yellow jumpsuits from TNG season 1. They don't even have. I don't know if you noticed. They don't even have updated comm badges.
No,
Those were TNG
No.
era comm badges.
they're hand-me-downs.
I mean, when she calls the base to look for Beckett, he's using a physical Rolodex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch.
That's awesome.
But the cards look like printed out versions of the LCAR screen, though. I thought that was so great.
Yes.
It's like your
L cards.
whiteboard.
They
It's
were
like your
L
whiteboard.
cards.
L cards, yeah.
Yes.
But it's as bad as your whiteboard for when we have audio issues.
Exactly. Hey, you watch your mouth.
That's a very special whiteboard.
That is a very special whiteboard,
It is.
and I will not have you besmirch it.
I'm not
in my
besmirching it.
presence.
I'm not
Okay.
besmirching it. I'm just making a comparison.
You keep
They're
running your
from
mouth like
Smirch.
that. You know who I'm going to send it? I'm looking at the people in the chat. We got Rambo and Bronson next to each other. And it's just, I'm imagining John Rambo and Charles Bronson teaming up to teach you some manners. So,
Oh boy, I'd get smacked. Rambo, I put him in place. Thank you, Rambo.
so yeah, Mariner is with her archaeologist friend from a few episodes ago. So
Yeah.
apparently that's what she's
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah,
That's what she's doing
I'm
now.
surprised that paid off so quickly.
Yeah.
it did. But
Yeah.
it makes sense. It makes
Yeah.
sense, you know. She's tired of it, you know. She was trying to toe the line and do the right thing, and she was following with Ransom's orders and not getting in trouble and
Yep.
and being a good girl, basically. And then her mom
Yeah.
just threw the baby out with the bathwater, and she's just
Yeah.
tired of it. So I can see that.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of idiots
So-
on that ship. So
So the lower deckers really like pie, like a lot.
yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I was waiting to find out if like the pie had Felicium in it or something, because I mean, what's his name?
Rutherford.
With the Rutherford. Holy cow, man!
Yeah, he went
He
nuts.
was like, "Give me the pie!"
I've
He ripped his
fasted 3
shirt off.
days for this damn thing. That was great.
Yeah.
Polypeptide pie.
Cellular peptide cake.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that
With mint
does
frosting.
that picture of Rambo is so bad, Rambo. Sorry, but that's horrible.
Yes.
So bad. I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just beaten to shit like a
So, okay, since they already paid off the archaeologist, do we think we'll see Section 31 next episode somehow with the with the other Boimler?
I mean, we're
I don't
what,
know.
2 episodes left, right?
There's only one.
Oh, one more?
Yeah, I don't know.
10 episodes, and that's next week.
They might save that. They might save that.
What
I
would
don't
be
know.
really awesome is to see Section 31 with the other Boimler running into the archaeologist and Mariner, and that be the entire episode,
Yeah.
and have a cliffhanger for next season.
Yeah.
Because they're getting
Well,
good about
that
doing
was my next
cliffhangers
question
every
is-
one.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Will Mariner be back in Starfleet by the end of the next episode?
I mean, if they do that next episode, that's too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
fine,
they do
but
everything too fast.
They do everything too fast. They do. But I don't know. I'd like to see them play with that a little bit and have an episode. They've done weird and wild one-off episodes. I mean, obviously the one couple back with the peanut hamper.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
Yeah.
You know, they'll do odd episodes like that. So I'd like to see one where it's just Mariner and the archaeologist doing things like what we would see Picard doing with the archaeologist, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
So string that out.
I mean, they could be tying these 3 threads together. You know, you got Section 31 Will Boimler. We still have Rutherford's past hasn't completely been fleshed out yet. And you know, who knows what Mariner and Vosh are going to find, if it's some ancient power or whatever. And
Right.
you know,
Right.
Section 31 wants it for themselves. We could see these 3 storylines converge.
We could.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. We could.
Yeah, we could. I don't want to see them
But-
all converge in the last episode of the season, though.
Yeah, I mean, 22 minutes
Yeah.
is not a lot of time to pay off three storylines. But
Right.
It's amazing that we're talking about a cartoon version of Trek that's only 22 minutes long, and we're desperately wanting more of it,
yeah,
as
Yeah.
opposed to an hour-long live-action show. You know, that we just 2 of them that we just want to wrap up and be done.
yeah,
So, interesting fact. So I was at the party last night, full of nerds. Right, it's all my nerdy friends, and they were all talking about Lower Decks,
yeah.
just organically. It's not like anyone brought it up.
Yeah.
And they all love Lower Decks. That's their favorite. Strange New Worlds was okay, but not as great as Lower Decks in their opinion. And when I asked about Discovery and Picard, universally it was just like, eh. And this is a group who like is very much part of the LGBTQ community, and they did not care about or Discovery.
Yeah.
Well, you can't watch it.
What about the representation in that?
You can't just watch a show just based on
Yeah.
like that, just based on your identity
Yeah.
or your political view. I mean, it just doesn't work.
Right.
That and
They all said the same thing. It's just not that great.
Yeah.
It's everywhere now. If this was 20 years ago and Discovery came out and look at all this representation, they would probably be super appreciative of it. But the fact that you can literally watch every show and see all kinds of representation everywhere now, it's like, okay, you can't lean on that anymore. You still have to make a good show. And if you don't, people aren't going to care because you have, you know, a gay person, a transgender person, or this, or that, and the other thing, because you checked all the boxes. You still got to make a good show.
Right.
That's the worst part about it. It's token representation. The only real representation in Discovery that they've actually fleshed out and makes sense is Stamets and Culber.
And Culber.
And those, I mean, the others are just really just there to check a box, and it's totally tokenism. It's not even. It's just. I'd almost be mad if I was if I was a member of that community. I would be pissed. Because it's just they're just there to check a box. They're not actually representing that group. They're not actually actively trying to show a good side for that group. They're just checking a box and moving on. Other than Stamets and Culber, which
well, like even in Lower Decks, you know, Mariner's got her relationship and it fits.
It does, and it's fine, and it's great. I love it. I've even said so many times on this show, I want to see more of those two because they're hilarious.
When she beat up all her friends, Jennifer's friends.
Yeah, and she was wanting her to do that. She thought it was hilarious. I thought that was great.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you guys know I got about 5 minutes, and then I have to make a hard stop.
Yeah.
These AI generated things are so bad, Rambo. They're
freaking me out, man.
They're freaking me out. They're so creepy. It's all AI generated images.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Some of them can get really good. There's one that's on Discord that's fantastic. But man, those are bad. All right, keep going.
No, that's basically it for the main topic. I was thinking we could get into feedback since I do have a decent question. I'd like to get Dan's answer while he's still here.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Right. Oh well, are you going to play the feedback thing?
Yep.
Let's enter feedback.
There you go.
Go for it.
All right. So this question comes to us from Duval Garino, and the question is: best and worst Star Trek or Trek-inspired comedy, skit or commercial you have seen?
Skit or commercial? It can't be a Okay. Back in 1993, either 93 or 94, when TNG was at the height of its popularity, Patrick Stewart hosted SNL.
Okay.
And I mean, that was 30-something years ago, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. So there's two things. The musical guest was Salt and Pepper.
Oh, boy.
And I still hear it in my head, Patrick Stewart saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, Salt and Pepper!"
Yeah.
So there's that, but also one of the skits for that episode was Love Trek. And it was a cross between Star Trek The Next Generation and The Love Boat. So it was Patrick Stewart, and he was wearing a TNG type uniform, but it had short sleeves and it had the Captain Crunch cuffs on the shoulders, and he was wearing the hat, and the bartender was Geordie, but he looked like Isaac, the bartender from the Love Boat. And there were a bunch of Love Boat / Star Trek jokes in there. I'll have to go back. I'll have to go back and find the skit. But yeah, I guess that's my favorite.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Chad, do you got one?
Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite one has to be when Jim Carrey would play Kirk on the Enterprise on SNL.
Yeah.
He would do that. I mean, those are just the greatest. Just his facial moves and his articulation of it. It's pretty amazing. I always enjoyed those. I can still go back and watch them. And then of course, because you've got Louis Farrakhan jokes on there
Oh,
too.
the Wrath! Yes,
Yeah.
the Wrath of Farrakhan.
The Wrath
I
of
think that
Farrakhan.
was Living
Yes.
Color.
Oh, that was in
That
Living
wasn't
Color.
SNL.
Living
That's
Color.
right. That was in
Yep.
Living Color, not SNL. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That would be mine.
Yeah,
I
that
could
was
rewatch
Damon
that.
Wayans.
That's
Damon
right.
Wayans
That's
was
right. That was Damon
Farrakhan.
Wayans.
Yeah.
That's funny.
There was a
I
time
think
there
for
where
me-
Living Color was funnier than SNL by a long shot.
Yes, yes.
Oh, pretty much its entire run.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's the one with Chris Pine where they're saying that's a Star Trek, and it's like Spock's brother, and it's like Horatio Sands, I think. Yeah.
I don't know what that one
Like,
is.
they keep-
I don't know that.
I'll have to send it to you guys. It's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I watched Chris Pine's latest on Amazon last night with the wife, the Contractor.
Oh yeah, how's that?
That's a rough one. That's a tense movie to watch.
Hmm.
That's a tense
Okay.
movie. It's very slow, but it's tense. Chris Pine's a good
Okay.
actor. He does not
Yeah,
come
he is.
across as anybody I've seen him in anything else before until watching that. It's a very different character, and he plays it just right. I mean,
Okay.
he's really good.
Well, I think Dan's going to be wrapping up soon.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
I gotta run. It's
Yeah.
good to see you, fellas.
You
I'll see you
too.
next week.
Enjoy the birthday party with the
And,
boy.
See you next week.
Yep.
Thank you. Everybody else, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.
Peace out.
Peace.
See you, buddy.
Yeah. All right.
Just the two of us. We
Yeah, it
can
is.
make it if we try.
If we try.
If
I
we
don't know if
try.
we try.
Yeah,
Well,
only
yeah.
if we try.
Yes. Well, does anyone else want to X up and join us and
Yeah, X
be
up
part
in
of
chat.
feedback?
Yeah, we'll unmute
Yeah.
you and we'll get some feedback going. And that would be Chaz, I believe. Always ready to talk. Yep. I
Yeah,
can
Chaz
scroll up
already
and see.
did. So
Let
why
me
don't we bring
go
him in and then- yeah.
unmute you, sir. Good morning, sir. How you doing? You're muted on your end.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, there he is.
Okay. I was like, trying to talk here. Well, I'm sad that there's only one more episode left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. So,
What are you excited for all the things that Gentry came up with for us to do for the rest of the year last week?
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff you can do.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to do it every 2 weeks after this, or are you guys going to continue weekly?
Oh, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
It's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something we got to
Because
talk about.
Yep. Yep.
We have a large gap coming up.
Yeah, it's
You
going to
guys
be like
aren't.
till February.
Yeah.
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 Because
I don't know. Maybe there'll be some holiday breaks.
Prodigy or any of that. So,
You know, a lot of
Yeah.
podcasts nowadays do things in terms of seasons. And I know Rambo and I, we do, he calls the Echoes of New Eden podcast as seasons, and we're on season 3, but yet it goes the whole year, and then it starts the next year and keeps going and never stops. Other podcasts do seasons, and they do, you know, a certain number of episodes, and then they don't come back until another season. For us, it's pretty much year round. So the only time we really take breaks is when we've gone, you know, 10, 12, 14 weeks nonstop without a break, which, you know,
yeah.
we may do in this one. I don't know. We'll see. We got holidays coming up and everything else that have natural breaks in them, so that may preclude anything else.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out and let you guys know.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What about your? Okay, Chaz, you're on feedback. I'm sorry, I was going to ask Daniel a question, but what else did you want to
Yeah,
share
go
with
for
us?
it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I like how Mariner ended with not the Bosch. So
Not the Bosch.
because she's so Bosch.
Oh yeah.
And then I guess they mentioned too that Q's been messing around with a bunch of stuff, you know, certain episodes. So, and you wonder, Q's like messing with the galaxy or doing something crazy.
He could. I mean, because he was always messing with the archaeologist as well. So there could be a funny little, you know, tie in there too. So
Yeah.
And we got the
And
tease of the killer robots and Peanut Hamper, and
Yeah.
yeah,
there's a
well, you
lot
got
they can do.
robot, and then you got this drone ship. I wonder if that's going to tie in.
You still have the
they've got so
Packlets.
many threads of
Yeah.
killer AI in all the shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean,
So-
killer AI. You got a drone ship with no crew, so you know that's going to come back to bite them in the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know you got to have a crew with Star Trek. You just can't have drones flying everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, that is
And
a
of course-
different. That is a good point to bring up. I mean, the show has always been canon in, but not canon out. But thankfully, because otherwise they would just totally destroy. Well, I don't know. They did that in Disco with the 50 million drones. You know, in the battle, sent out the worker bees as
Right,
drones. You
right.
know, so but
That's not canon, guys. That didn't happen. Even Spock doesn't even mention her. So.
yeah,
Nobody mentions that.
no,
Yeah, nobody mentions that. That never happened.
no.
And the whole Klingon war, that was so disappointing. It was like, that's it. I thought it was going to be this big, drawn up, like,
It should have been.
awesome
It could have
Klingon
been.
war.
You know, it
Yeah,
reminds
it
me of
could have
what
been.
Axanar was trying to do. You know, before they screwed things up for everybody. But with how they were trying to portray the war and what they were doing with it, that was at least intriguing and interesting and had a lot of tactical things brought up in it. But yeah, they've completely fudged that.
Oh, man, I can't believe how bad they fudged that. It's like, wow. Every time they mentioned that, I was like, oh, this is the battle of the binary stars and all this. This is going to be cool. And you watch it and you're like, that's it?
Yep. Yep.
That's kind of disappointing.
Very much so. Very much so.
I was like, that was a skirmish, not like a war. So
yeah. So what do you think is going to happen next week for the final episode, Chaz?
I don't know if Mariner's. I have a feeling Mariner's going to leave with the cliffhanger that she's not on the ship. She's with not Lavash, and she's. I don't know. That's a good question because the crew's, gonna. I don't know if they're gonna bring in the AI ship. Something's gonna happen with that, I think.
Yeah.
With the Admiral, because I almost think the bad Admiral is not going to be a good Admiral, because, like you guys said earlier, Admirals are always bad. Something always happens to an Admiral.
But his name is Buen Amigo.
Yeah, but Admirals either, if it's a good Admiral, they die, right? If it's bad Admiral, they always are scheming, doing something in the background.
Yeah.
Because you think about all the Admirals in Star Trek. So every time you say
they should do an Admiral,
something or they die.
They should do an Admiral that is just different enough looking, but basically RoboCop. Just because that Peter Weller play an Admiral twice.
Yeah. They get to have someone who looks, draw him, make him look like Peter Weller.
Yeah,
oh, man, that'd be cool. You could use Peter Weller as RoboCop.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be great.
That would be hilarious.
I'd watch it. So.
Yep.
And then I was thinking of the Oklahoma class ship. How it would be, right? Okay, the Oklahoma class. It'd be Native American, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's white Native American because everybody's like 116. They got to claim they're Native American,
right?
Because if you ever watch the commercials here in Oklahoma, you'll laugh and like that guy's not Native American. He's a white guy.
Yeah.
Because I'm part Choctaw, so but I am distant. So
well, then you'd have to have a part of the ship that's owned by somebody else, kind of like Tulsa is now.
Yeah.
You make it sound like they're all going to be like Chakotay, with like my people have a saying and Kuchimoya.
Kuchimoya, yes.
That's the lead ship of the Oklahoma class.
Yeah. It's called the Akuchimoya. The USS Akuchimoya. Oh goodness!
And we'd have like a prairie wagon like emblem or something, with the Native American shield. So
is that their mascot, the Fighting Prairie Dogs?
Oh, goodness
It'd be
gracious.
pretty disappointing.
Yeah, that would be.
And would be a mining ship too, because we'd have
There you
to
go. There you go.
drill for oil or
Alright.
resources. So
Right.
that'd be the Oklahoma ship. It'd be very disappointing.
Any last feedback you want to give, Chazbiz?
I was gonna ask Dan, where's the free taco from?
Taco Bell.
Taco
You know,
Bell.
he never mentioned Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Okay,
Taco Bell.
it's like he's not missing anything. So.
No, not really. No,
Yeah.
not at all.
If it was from one of those good places, yeah, I'd be disappointed. But yeah, Taco Bell, screw it. When I was a pizza boy, if somebody gave me an expired free pizza coupon, but they tipped me really good, I would take the coupon. So I'd be like, okay, you get the free pizza. I don't care. You know, as long as you tip me. Now, if they didn't tip me, be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do this. So
Yeah, that's funny.
Sometimes you have to be a little mean.
Yeah,
Thanks
sometimes
a lot,
you do.
guys.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Always
All right.
appreciate the feedback.
Thanks.
I'll put you back
Yeah.
on mute. We do have a couple of emails, a couple of voicemails to play too on feedback. If nobody else wants to X up,
Great.
if Bronson wants to X up or Rambo, I know Rambo doesn't. Rambo doesn't even watch Trek.
That's okay. Well then, let's play the voicemails and give them a chance to X up if they want to.
Yeah. Let me go find the voicemails real quick. I was in the emails. Where's my thing for voicemails?
Well, when you're doing that, I got an email from Taryn.
Okay.
So last week we talked about doing some sort of award show for end of the year awards for Star Trek.
Yep.
And Taryn has emailed in and said, I just listened to the podcast. I have some 3D printers and some basic CAD skills. Let me know if you're thinking about for the awards. I can design and print them up. So
there you go.
There you go. Awesome, Taryn. Yeah, we might take you up on that.
So we would need like a first, second, third place prize. Is that what we'd need?
I mean, how do we get them to these people? What are we going to do with the awards?
Mail them.
I guess.
Just like we would a card, right? Just like we would a card.
Yeah.
So then how do they win the awards?
Well, we'd have to come up with categories and then decide who wins.
Yep.
Guess we could do like some sort of poll on social media for who wins the awards.
Okay.
And then I guess mail them off wherever we can.
Yeah. All right, we'll hash that out a little bit over the next week or two.
Yeah, that would be fun, actually. Some sort of Trek award show.
Yeah, it would be. Okay.
Oh, you know what? We could get some cameos to read the winners.
Oh, yes. Yes, we could. Oh, that would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
Uh-huh. We could get Smokey Robinson to read the winners.
Chinooka. Happy Chinooka,
Happy
everyone.
Chinooka.
For the awards.
I don't know what that means, but...
Have a great Chinooka.
Have a great Happy Chinooka. All right, here's our voicemail. I will hopefully play it now.
The following is brought to you by the Federation News Service with Space Gentry, covering over 150 worlds across the entire Federation. From Utopia Planitia to Deep Space Nine, Space Gentry is your #1 trusted name in galactic news. And now, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, a pack-led review, B4 edition. She-Hulk was not real. If you would like your favorite episode reviewed, write it on a Post-it note or a dry erase board and send a picture of that to ifscottcanyoucan@gmail.com.
Nice.
That was great. That was hilarious.
Great.
That's amazing. I love it when he does those.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, then the emails. Okay, yeah. So one of the emails was from Gentry and has all the things laid out. I got that. One of the other emails is our charting. So I'll go through our charting real quick. We've fallen in Germany to a 221 rank in all TV reviews. We are holding steady at 114 in Australia. We have risen to number 35 for all TV review podcasts in Great Britain. We're at 35.
Oh, Sacre Bleu.
Yep. And in the United States of
Very well.
America, we have stayed and hold steady at 227 for 3 weeks in a row.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we're getting
amazing.
popular.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of amazing. And then, of course, we got one other email. This came from Zachary Thomas actually a couple of weeks ago. We talked about this, and he brought something up that I'd kind of forgotten about. And I'll just read the email, and then we'll talk about it. He says, "Hey, Chad, hope all is well with you. G4 TV is officially shut down now. Didn't even last a year.
Yeah.
I'm only bringing it up because we talked about it a year ago." And then he gave me a link to the story. And he said, "I found out that some of the employees only found out through social media, not even by the company yet." And he sent that email on the 16th, so I'm a little late. Sorry about that. Should have read that last week and somehow, whatever. But yeah, G4 TV's gone. It didn't last very long at all, which is too bad.
No, it did not.
The old days of G4 TV were fantastic. I love that.
You know, I really wanted to watch it, and I had a hard time figuring out whenever it was on, what was going on with it.
Yeah, I never could find it.
I loved Attack of the Show back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Olivia Munn.
back from the G4 day, Tech TV days.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep, exactly.
And just when it was the screensavers. And
yeah, the
then,
screensavers. I'd watch Leo Laporte all the time, way back when he was doing
he's still around.
Oh yeah, of course he is. He's got an excellent show, Tech TV and all that. Twit.
With his netcast, because he refused to call them podcasts.
Exactly. Yeah. It's Twit.
Yeah.
That's his network. This Week in
Yeah.
Tech. He's even gone through full rounds in legal battles with Twitter over calling it Twit, but instead of a tweet, right? But that's been around forever and ever. So, yep. So thanks for that that news, that almost news, that real news, Zachary. Appreciate that. I read it a week late. Apologies, but I did read it. I did see it. So I think that's it on the feedback. I don't know if there was anything on the coffee account. I can go look up that real quick while we're moving on to the next thing.
No, there wasn't anything new.
Okay, good.
So
then I don't need anything there.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's basically it. We'll be back next week with the end of Lower Decks. You know what? Prodigy is starting to back up again, and we talked about we'll watch that one episode without any context and see what we do. So
is that next week or is that 2 weeks?
That's next week.
Next week. Okay, so we'll have 2 shows to talk about.
2 shows to talk about. So there you go.
All right, sounds good, everybody. Appreciate it. I'll hit the outro.
Sounds good.
Well, there you have it. Another episode in the can. Check us out at trekcast.com. Also, if you would, please subscribe to us via iTunes. Leave those reviews, subscribe to us, we get some numbers, get up the list, get more listeners, do more shows, have more fun. But for now, we're all done. So live long and prosper, and we'll see you next week.